Morning, morning, people. Over here, somewhere else in the world. Good afternoon, good evening. Um, so I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm not sure what's going on when I look around. You know, I work with different types of people, different types of clients, and something that I keep encountering that I don't struggle with, and I need to do more work on, is understanding resistance in people. Now, I was very blessed that my early childhood and my life led me to not seeing resistance. I just have a strange way of looking at the world, and when something comes up for me that's uncomfortable, I head straight into it. It's just the nature of the beast for me. I can't tell you why, and it doesn't matter. That's why I'm so good as a resistance coach. But what I do see more and more of is incredibly intelligent, well-rounded, stable, gifted people scared to death of their shadows. Now, shadow's a bit of a cliche. I don't like the word normally, but I'm going to use it because you see it all on Facebook in memes and all that shit all the time. So I want to talk about what that shadow is. And you could call it shadow, you can call it resistance, you can call it your pain, your trauma, whatever. What it basically is your discomfort. Where in your life are you uncomfortable to go? If I was to say to you, let's talk about your father, hypothetically, if you instantly tense up and if you instantly find yourself short breathing, if you instantly find your hands sweating, if you instantly find yourself diverting your gaze, let's say your mother, let's say your partner, let's say your kids, let's say your stepkids, it doesn't matter what. If you find yourself flinching and if you find yourself uncomfortable, that is the very place you're supposed to head. Now, I'm frustrated and I'm actually a little bit pissed off, which doesn't happen to me often, at how addicted to ease and comfort we are in the first world. Now, again, I've been very blessed to have spent a lot of time in the third world in my life. A lot of time. And I don't want to appear arrogant, but I'm probably going to, as I come back here and I see a bunch of whinging, moaning, lazy people who don't want to change, who don't want to make any effort, and who are not prepared to sacrifice a single thing to become a better version of themselves. And I guess I'm trying to understand that better because, look, I spent 10 years in Africa, so I spent a considerable time there, and I spent a few years in the Middle East, and I travelled to Asia on and off most of my life before that. So my lifestyle led me to this assumption, I guess, that there is this laziness pervading modern first world societies. But I don't think I'm wrong, and I think I've sort of earned the right to be able to call it out a little bit and say, if you're resisting something and if you're diving into and hiding in ease and comfort, then you are your own worst enemy. Society isn't. We can bitch and moan and say that society's created all these things. We are society. We created this. Politicians didn't create it. Your mum and dad didn't create it. Anyone who sits there and orders McDonald's on Uber Eats when there's a McDonald's a kilometre around the corner, you caused it. You are basically, we are becoming a species that is constantly lavishing ourselves in the things that bring us instant gratification. And we're wondering why, as a species, we're struggling. You know, look at America as a perfect example. And I'm sorry for any of you Yanks who watch this, but you are a perfect example of what happens when your ultimate goal is to make life easier and easier and easier. So to go back on topic and to allow my frustration to actually create something here. Guys, if you're unable to face your discomfort, your shadow, your resistance, which is the word I like to call it, because that's what it is. There is a physical resistance to these things. When we're faced with any of these issues, and I can look at these two kids behind me, physical resistance instantly. I instantly feel sick in my stomach because I cannot change the situation of them being stuck on the other side of the world, living what I believe is a substandard life versus the life I could offer them here. It makes me feel ill. That's my resistance, and that's my daily struggle to go into it and learn more about myself and understand that as much as it is uncomfortable and I want a better life for them, I don't believe the life they're living is to the standard I appreciate. They are loved by their mother, whether I like it or not. She is doing the best she can, whether I like it or not. They are safe as far as they can be. Not as safe as I would like, but life doesn't work on my perspective. If I work off my perspective and I start telling the world how I want, well, then I'm living in expectation, and the world doesn't give us what we want all the time. And when it does, it gives us McDonald's and Uber Eats that's a kilometre around the corner. And that's not the shit we should be putting into our bodies, and it's not the stuff we should be consuming with our minds. So I'm going to say, look, it's the weekend, and this is the last thing anyone wants to hear on the weekend, is someone calling them out on their level of comfort, because our society will tell us that it's the weekend, I've earned a break, I get to do the hell what I want because it's my time. To a certain degree, for a certain aspect of you people out there, that is very true. But what are you really doing with that time? Are you... Yeah, the beard's getting... Leon, the beard's getting longer. I did get told to shave it today. And I'm on a bit of a rant, my brother. And you know this rant very well, because this is going to be the basis for the men's work that we start doing. And I'm going to work with women as well. I tend to find women much easier to work with, but that bothers me more, because I believe somewhere along the way, again, men have just completely dropped the ball and decided to become stagnant and decided to choose to just sit and watch the world go by. And I know we're better than that, because I've seen it and I've done it and I've broken through these same walls. You know, I'm an Australian with absolutely no schooling behind me. I ended up in Africa and at one point was considered probably one of the best elephant behaviour specialists in Zimbabwe. Then, by accident, I ended up becoming a lion or a predator expert in trapping and removing problem lions from conflict zones with humans. Why? Because I was able to face my resistance. Whenever there was fear, whenever there was an opportunity that scared the shit out of me, I dove into it and tried to learn more about myself. Now, my life is an extreme example. If I can do that, how easy is it for me to teach you to face that resistance to talk to your mum, your stepmum, your dad, your stepdad, your stepchild? How easy is it for me to teach you that resistance, that pain, the trauma, the blaming, the excuses, the discomfort, the I can't change the job because it's too hard, how easy is it for me, if I was to share my entire life story with you, to inspire you to go, holy, what have I been waiting for? Why am I sitting here doing this? Because the guy next door is? Where did this example come from? It wasn't there before. We're creating it as we go, so we can't blame anyone anymore. We have to take personal responsibility. Have to. We don't have a choice, because look around us at what's going on. So guys, this weekend, while you're enjoying your hard-earned break and probably drinking one too many beers and watching a bit too much footy and killing time, spend some time looking at resistance. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Phone the old man. Phone your mum. Phone your sister that you've been fighting with. Phone your brother. If it's physical resistance, go for a longer walk. Push it till it hurts. Feel the pain in your body and understand the reason for its existence. Because your body is capable of healing anything that you're able to notice. Anything. Resistance goes across the 4 systems of our body. Resistance of mind, resistance of heart, resistance of spirit, resistance. Yeah, you've got what it takes to face all of these. All you've got to do is have the courage and the determination to say enough is enough. I want better for me, I want better for my family, and I want better for my kids. Because what you heal, you will help free them of having to carry in through their journey here. All right, ladies and gents, that was a bit of a rant for Saturday. Enjoy your weekends, enjoy your resistance, enjoy your discomfort. Find your courage and determination. You weren't put here to cope. You weren't put here to just live an average life. Every single one of us was put here with an opportunity to thrive. So start fucking thriving.